it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and I hope players can like, you know, I'm looking at Dado and Astacross, make a good guide for this.
Yeah.
Because this is a big one, but I think that the more people play, they'll kind of understand them as even if you're at the worst level, if you're at Warden's Punishment ×3, you're able to get to the max rewards in one lap.
All right, guess I got my work cut out for me. Today we're going to be going over my guide to the all-new Tomb of Elders and Contest of Elders activity in D2. If you're wondering what the difference is, Tomb of Elders is basically just a shorter, bite-sized version of the activity where you just go for basically one real encounter, get a small amount of easy loot, and call it a day. Contest of Elders is the full-on harder version of the activity where you go for a couple encounters, get a bunch of loot, and it takes around 30-ish minutes to complete the whole run. Timestamps on the screen now. Let's go. First thing to talk about, modifiers and build crafting. This should probably go without saying, but before even launching the activity, probably a good idea to go over the modifiers real quick. Currently, we have Arc and Stasis Surge, as well as an overcharged weapon modifier. I feel like a lot of people frequently overlook the overcharged modifier. Remember, that means, for example, if you have Overload Grenade Launcher turned on your artifact, it should say at the bottom, your primary and special ammo GLs are always overcharged when that modifier is active. So, even though my Velocity Baton isn't benefiting from the Arc or Stasis Surge, it is dishing out more pain from being overcharged. Also, be sure to pay attention to whatever the active threat is, currently Arc at the time of me recording today's video. You can try to compensate with a matching chest mod to make sure you don't get completely bent over by whatever the damage type is, but you do you. When in the Contest of Elders activity, be sure to keep an eye on your screen every time you enter a new area, as you will get a new active modifier for each encounter. These don't stack, thank Christ, but they definitely can be annoying to deal with, so be aware of them. Modifiers include options like everybody's favorite, Haste, Chill Touch, Blast, Brawn, Scrapper, Famine, Counterfeit, and Grounded. Counterfeit used to be a modifier to really be afraid of, but heads up, Bungie nerfed it hard in Act 2, probably too hard actually. It was active more than once for me during my runs, and honestly, I'm more afraid of going for a walk and falling down an open mine shaft than that modifier as of right now. I think Dado might have been right. Anywho, very quickly, encounter flow and how the prison works. The general flow of the Contest of Elders is as follows. Main encounter, traversal encounter, main encounter, loot room, repeat. Again, main encounter, traversal encounter, main encounter, loot room, repeat. Main encounters are exactly what they sound like, a full-length encounter where you usually have a large enemy to kill accompanied with an optional challenge side objective. And after your first main encounter in the sequence, you have a traversal encounter, aka running from one encounter room to the next, which, believe it or not, also will throw an optional challenge side objective at you. More on side objectives shortly, by the way. After your second main encounter in the sequence, you'll go to a loot room where the Warden will both give you loot and evaluate your performance. After that, rinse and repeat. In total, you're going to do that entire sequence 4 times. The 4th and final time you get loot, you'll be taken to a big old treasure room. That's how you'll know the entire prison run is now officially over. The only exception to that sequence is at the very beginning where you first do an opening encounter, aka the Cryopod encounter. If during your prison run the Warden deems you're doing a good job, you won't have to redo that opening Cryopod encounter, but if you're doing poorly, he may force you to redo it, which brings us to Warden's Judgment. Remember those side objectives I mentioned earlier? If you successfully complete them as you go, you gain stacks of something called Warden's Favor, which has a maximum amount of ×3. If you have stacks of Warden's Favor, 2 things will happen. 1, enemies in the prison in general will become slightly tougher, but 2, you'll end up getting more loot. Therefore, if you're interested in getting the max amount of loot possible, you want to try to complete literally every optional challenge objective the prison throws at you. On the other hand, if you fail a challenge or critical objective, you'll lose a stack of Warden's Favor. Imagine it like this. It's a big ladder, and if you fail challenges frequently enough, you'll fall down below the neutral threshold and gain stacks of Warden's Punishment. If that were to occur, 2 things will happen. 1, the enemies in the prison will get easier, but 2, you get less loot. Also, you'll have to potentially redo the opening cryo encounter, and the Warden can literally pop out and burn your ass, both figuratively and literally, as a way to try to motivate you. TLDR, do every challenge and critical objective always. And on that that note: challenge and critical objectives. It's important to note that no matter what encounter you're in, you keep your eyes peeled to the left side of your screen to make sure you're ready for any side objective the prison throws at you. They can be identified as either a challenge objective or a critical objective, but don't get caught up in the verbiage. Treat them both the same. Always do them no matter what to avoid losing the Warden's favor. I have noticed, though, that the critical objectives seem to be a little bit tougher than challenge objectives, but again, treat them all the same. It's important that when a side objective comes up, you stop what you're doing and prioritize it, because if you're not careful, you could kill the main boss and beat the encounter before completing the side objective, which gives you a stack of Warden's punishment. Let's go through literally every single main encounter side objective. But let's take a break really quick to talk about your freaking dick. That's right, boys. Today's video is brought to you by Manscaped, the global men's lifestyle brand that is once again setting the bar higher in men's grooming standards. Check the calendar. The holidays are right around the corner. And if you've got a brother, a dad, a cousin, or any other dude in your life, give them the gift that any guy can appreciate: the Chairman Pro Package. This all-in-one set includes everything you need for a perfect shave every time, making it an ideal gift for those looking to elevate their grooming game this season. The Chairman Pro features a 360-degree contouring head and comes with 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. You've got the skin-safe 4-blade foil for a super close shave, and the skin-safe stubble trimmer for when you want to get a little bit of that rugged look. And as always, it's waterproof, so you can take that bad boy into the shower to make cleaning up even easier. The package also includes Power Shave Gel to get the ultimate wet shave experience, not to mention the Face Shave Soother. Use it after shaving to hydrate your skin and soothe any post-shave irritation. Don't wait, head on over to manscaped.com/falloutplays and get 20% off your order plus free shipping. What better way to treat yourself or someone special this season? Again, head to manscaped.com/falloutplays for 20% off and free shipping. Thank you, Manscaped. All right, we back. Now onto our list of every single side objective. Complete the encounter quickly. This is by far the easiest and best challenge modifier. When you see it pop up, just slay out or finish whatever encounter you're in as fast as you can. Do it before the timer runs out and you're good to go. Precision and ability final blows. Another easy one. When this shows up, either defeat enemies with headshots or grab ability final blows. Remember, by the way, if you're completely out of ability energy, you can get progress by just getting a regular melee kill. Scorch cannon final blows. Scorch cannons will spawn around the general area. Just pick them up and go to town. Keep slaying trash until you hit 100%. GG. Defeat combatants with special and heavy ammo. Pretty straightforward. Just dump all your special and heavy ammo into the enemies to kill them and don't stop until you hit 100%. Activate all energy switches to vent poison. For this one, you have to dip down into the poison gas filled area and manually activate 3 different buttons. When all 3 have been activated, the poison will shut off and the objective will complete. Staying in the poison will obviously hurt and kill you, so be careful to not die when you're down there. Find and defeat the Rifleman. This one is kind of tricky. Riflemen will appear around the encounter area, but they'll be way up high on raised platform balcony type deals. You have to find them and kill the real Rifleman for the challenge to complete. There's going to be plenty of fake Riflemen who are much weaker and will die way faster. Killing them means nothing. Find the one who has way more health than normal. That is the real one. Kill him and you're good to go. Dismantle mines. Oh boy. This one is going to trip up a lot of people the first time they hop into this activity. Here's the deal. You'll have to dismantle mines by standing under them until the meter fills up and they deactivate. However, there are now fake mines on the battlefield in addition to real ones. If you stand under a fake mine and fill the meter, it will detonate and kill you. So, how do you tell the real mines from the fake ones? There's actually 3 ways to tell. 1, the easiest way by far, simply look at the mine. If it looks like this, aka extremely busted and covered in glowing blue cracks everywhere, it's fake and you should avoid it. If it looks like this though, aka kinda normal, then it's a real mine. It may have some tiny, very tiny glowing blue dots on it, but it won't look anywhere near as busted and terrible as a fake mine. Method number 2, briefly step into the mine zone. If your text on screen says you're deactivating the mine, that means it's fake. But if you step into a mine zone and the text says diffusing, that means the mine is real. And you shouldn't need this method with the other two, but here's number 3. When you step into the mine zone, if the progress meter fills up really quickly, that means it's a fake mine and you should GTFO. But if the meter fills up slowly, it is a real mine. Dismantle all 3 real mines and complete the challenge. The next 4 are side objectives that will only show up during traversal encounters, but you should keep an eye out for them anyway. Reach the end of the traversal corridor quickly. Pretty straightforward. Just go ahead and run really quickly and get to the end as fast as you can. Don't even stop to fight enemies. They're just going to waste your time. Find and defeat the challenging combatant. Again, only in the traversal encounter. Simply go through until you find the challenging combatant in question and murder them. Absorb energy from the pillars. You'll see big glowing pillars of blue light. Simply run through all 5 of them and you'll complete the challenge. Unfortunately, there is a timer, so try to avoid the enemies that are shooting you and focus only on the pillars. Defeat all combatants in your traversal. Feel like I shouldn't have to explain that one, but just kill everything. GG. And with that out of the way, let's now talk about every main encounter, of which there aren't too many. Defeat the Cryopod Inhabitant. Obviously, that one will only come up during the first initial Cryopod encounter, but yeah, kill the big bad who comes out of the Cryopod and GG. In a perfect world, you keep your rep up and only have to do that objective 1 time. Don't piss off the Warden now. He'll send you back and make you do it again. Destroy the Scorn Walker. There are several steps here you'll need to take before beating the Walker. Start by gathering 6 Scorn explosives hidden around the area. If you get close to any of them, you'll see a waypoint on your HUD, so be sure to just look around and explore to find all of them. When you found all 6, head to a new waypoint and activate your ghost to begin arming explosives. Stay in that small area until the progress meter builds up to 100%, and when it's done, an explosion happens and you can now damage the Scorn Walker and send it to hell. Oh, and watch out for the occasional Revenant Baron, by the way, and remember to kill their little pink lamp of doom to prevent them from respawning. Sylok, the Defiled, thirsts for your light. Sorry about that. Begin the encounter by disrupting darkness rifts. Translation, jumping into the little orange glowing circles and then bringing them to the depot area on the map and dunking the darkness power in. Remember that you can only carry a maximum of 3 at a time. When you've dunked a grand total of 6 Dark Runner charges into the depot area, you get to kill Sylok. Again, be careful though, a side objective will likely pop up during the damage phase. More on that later, but be sure to complete whatever it is before defeating Sylok. Defeat the Lightblade. Start off by killing Hive Ritualists, aka the marked Hive enemies around the area, of which there should only be a few. After that, you can then ring the Lucent bell, aka just go down to the big structure in the middle of the map and activate it, ring that bell. And when you've rung the giant Hive bell, the Lightblade will appear. Just beat his ass like a drum real quick. When he's dead, he'll drop a pool of green goo on the ground. Go ahead and stand in that goo puddle for just a second or run through it if you want, which will give you the power to do the final thing, which is shooting and breaking the Hive runestones scattered throughout the area in the air. Without the goo power, the runestones are immune to all damage, so get the goo power, break them all, and you're done. Kill the Psion Commander. A Thresher ship will drop in from a hole in the ceiling and won't be damageable via regular weapon fire. Cabal mini-bosses will pop into the arena though, and killing them will drop bombs on the floor, which you can then pick up and yeet at the Thresher in order to damage it. Random tip, by the way, even though you can't damage the Thresher with weapons, we learned you can actually weaken it with tractor cannon, and it'll take more damage from thrown bombs. True story. Eventually though, the Thresher will become damage gated, because of course it will, and in order to break the damage gate, you have to find and kill several shielded Psions. Just walk into their little bubble of protection and murder them to undamage gate the Thresher. When the Thresher is gone, you'll then have a Psion Commander to kill. At half health, he will again become damage gated, and then again find and kill the little bubbled Psions to break the damage gate. Kill the Psion Commander and GG, you're done. Defeat the Dread Lieutenant and its forces. Enter the area and begin collecting Resonance Disruptions. This is basically the same mechanic as fighting Sylok the Defiled. Grab orange glowing buffs and dunk them into the depot station in the area to build up charges. Again, you can only carry 3 charges at a time max. Go ahead and dunk 12 total to summon the Lieutenant, kill it and every other enemy in the area, and you're good. GG. Defeat the Lucent Hive Fireteam. Enter the area and start defeating the Lucent Hive one by one. Remember to mush their ghosts when they're dead, so they actually stay dead and don't come back to life. When the Lucent Hive are all dead, just frag the hell out and kill every other Hive reinforcement left in the room, GG. Defeat the Gladiator brothers. Start things off by destroying 5 generators. You do this by killing unique enemies who again will drop bombs onto the floor. Once you have the bombs, locate the generators, which look like this, glowing orange and easy to spot. Chuck your bomb at the generator to break them, and do that until all 5 generators in the room are broken. You may have to look high and low for them. Some usually are way up high, but after that, fight and kill the Gladiator Cabal brothers, kill them both, and you're done. GG. Defeat the Machinist. This is basically identical to the Scorn Walker encounter. Start by gathering Scorn explosives around the area. You're going to need 6 in total. When you get close to any, you should see a waypoint, which can help you find them easier. When you've gotten all 6, move to the new waypoint, deploy your ghost, and stand in the zone until it reaches 100% progress to arm the explosives. When they detonate, you'll finally be able to damage and unalive the Machinist. Finally, we're going to wrap everything up with best tips I can give you and loadout advice. Okay, literal biggest tip I can give. The thing that will 100% trip up most teams and solo queue players: not paying attention to challenge and critical objectives. Because the main encounters are actually kind of easy to blow through, many new players will become laser focused on DPSing the boss and completely forgetting that they need to be on the lookout for a side objective. It's actually kind of devious of the Bungie activity team, because this is basically a new form of damage gating. Oh sure, you can absolutely vaporize Sylok in 3 seconds if you want to, but if you do, you'll probably miss out on the side objective that happens when he's hit a certain amount of remaining health. It is a trap. Don't fall for it. Always pay attention and prioritize side objectives. Other than that, it's really just about building a good loadout and working with your team. There's a lot of Scorn in this activity, so having Fell the Revenant from your artifact turned on is literally always a good idea. Likewise for the completely goated concussive reload perk. Build-wise, I like to focus on burst damage, so I've been enjoying things like Nova Bomb and the Parasite Exotic GL, but if you find that you're struggling to stay alive, then I'd say making a build focused on survivability would probably be your #1 priority for now. Then when you start getting clears more frequently without dying, then you can focus on pimping out your damage. Like today's video and let me know below if you'd like me to make a build video, and I can make a follow-up vid with builds for each class that can shred in this activity. Not really sure if I need to do that, but I'd rather not assume what people want from me, you know? Anyway, please like today's video if it helped you, share with a fire team near you. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.